Hey there, Regina Andler here, and it is time for Tips and Tricks Tuesday. This week, our theme is the human AI connection. And it just so happens that last week, this is November 2025, and last week I spent a week in Las Vegas at an AI conference. And guess what one of the themes was? Keeping the human in AI. So, what does that mean? We are literally just at the beginning of this, we'll call it the AI revolution. I like to talk about the evolution of the cell phone, right? When you think about that phone that you have in your hand, or you might even have one on your wrist, right? Think about, depending on how old you are, think about 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. 30 years ago for me, we didn't have the cell phones. Well, I think the brick phones were just coming out around that time. And my first cell phone was like this big honking thing. It was huge. It wasn't this little tiny thing that you have in your hand anymore, or something that you could wear on your wrist. And we didn't have these earbud things that we could talk in that kind of thing, right? And look at where we are now. That is what is going on with AI. AI just started reaching mainstream. Now, there was lots of controversy when cell phones came out as well. People are going to be attached to them and it's going to ruin society. Well, some people might still think that cell phones are a bad thing and that kind of thing. However, how many people do you know walking around who do not have a cell phone these days? Everybody has a cell phone, right? Why? Because it's the way things are now. Eventually, AI, it's just going to be the way things are. It's not going to be something new. It's not going to be something that you need an AI agency. It's not going to be something that you need to learn something special. It's just going to be the norm eventually. And as we're building it all up, in the mix of all of this, or in the midst of all of this, there is this challenge that we have with AI, because AI is a machine. There is no human, there is no soul. And people are using AI to create text, to create avatars, to create videos, to do all these different things. And it's great for doing all that stuff. And yet, in some cases, we're moving further away from the human element. Now, people don't do business with you because they wanted to do business with a machine. They do business with you because of you. If you have a team, because of you, your team, your organization, your culture, your ability to empathize with them, the soul of you. That's what people do business with, the heart of you. AI doesn't have that. And this is where we're starting to hit this critical mass of, it's a little too AI and not enough human. So when we talk about human and AI harmony, what does that actually mean? So I have a few tips here for you to think about, some suggestions on keeping that human in your AI. So the first one is, when you're out there and you're prompting AI, when you're telling it what you want, start your prompt with the goal, not just the task. What is the end goal that you're looking for from AI? So if you say, hey, I want you to write a blog about this topic, what is really the end goal? The end goal isn't to write a blog about this topic. The end goal is to help somebody understand something or explain something, or whatever that is, whatever the goal of the blog is for the end user that you're trying to hit. Start your prompt with that so it understands, okay, this is where she's going with this. This is where he's going with this. You want to make sure that AI understands the full gamut of what it is that you're doing. So you want to let it know the goal, the end result, not just the task. That's number one. The number two is, anytime that you create this content, read through what it sent you because it's going to spit out some pretty generic information. And when I say generic, you can be very specific in a prompt and it might give you something really interesting and really good, but there's still no you in it. So when you read through and say you create a blog, maybe you want to put an example in there or a story, something that's real, something that came from your real life, something that's human. You want to add that in. So don't just copy and paste. Don't say, hey, create 5 Facebook posts for me this week. Read them and make sure that you inject the human into them along with their copy. AI can't do that. AI doesn't know you in depth. It doesn't know your stories, and it certainly doesn't know your feelings and emotions. It doesn't know your soul. You have to add that into the content. So, add in a story, an analogy, something like that. I use my cell phone analogy with AI all the time. Add something in that is yours, is human. The next one is, use the AI really for your editing and brainstorming. It's never ever your final draft. So as I talked about with adding the story or analogy before hitting publish, you want to make sure that you stop and just don't copy and paste and throw it out there. There are so many people right now who are doing just that. They're using AI to create content. I don't know about you. Can you spot AI content a mile away? I can. I can spot AI created content a mile away. When I create my own content, yes, I use AI to help me create content. And I literally read everything word for word. I change sentences around. It doesn't talk exactly like I do, no matter how much of my voice that I've given it, no matter how well it knows me. It does not write exactly in my voice. So I go through and I change things up. I make it human. So make sure that you're using it for editing and brainstorming, but not the final product that you're sending out. That being said, the next tip, number 4, is to create a voice guide. Now, creating a voice guide is actually pretty easy. You can basically tell your stories. You can give those analogies. If you have videos like this, maybe you go live every day. Download some of your live videos and feed them into AI and say, analyze these for my tone and my voice. And it will actually pull out your voice and tone based on what you give it. It's a really super easy way to create a voice guide that then you can put that into your AI and say, okay, anytime you're writing content for me, this is me, this is my voice, this is my tone. I want you to use this and incorporate it into anything that you create. So remember, creating a voice guide is also not a one-time thing because things change, the AI changes, and sometimes it doesn't get you anymore. So you might have to update it from time to time, and that's okay. Just make sure that as you start seeing content, maybe it's not quite as your voice anymore, and maybe it was for a while. You put your voice guide in, it was you, and it sounded really good, and it was creating great stuff. And then all of a sudden it started kind of lagging off. That just means you need to update your voice guide and just do it again, put new stories in, put some things in. So the last tip is to let AI handle all the structure and you handle the actual connection. Remember, people are hiring you. They're not hiring AI. If they want to hire AI, they can just go do that. They don't need you. If all the answers that they need answered, if all the questions they need answered can be answered direct from AI, what do they need you for anyways? That human connection is what counts. That's what people are getting from you. People want to know you're a real person, you have real stories, and you can connect human to human, not bot to bot, right? So when you're looking at all of the things that you do with AI, keep in mind, number 1, start those prompts with the goal, the end result that you're looking for, not just the task. Give it some extra information. Add in those stories. Create a story bank. You can tuck your stories into a document and have them sitting there and upload them into ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, whatever your favorite AI tool is, you can upload it in and say, hey, here's some of my stories. Incorporate them into my blog, my lead magnet, my article, whatever it is that you're creating. You can have a pre-made list of your stories that you've told and created, and use that as input with your tasks for AI. So put that together, and then use AI for the editing and brainstorming, but not the final draft. Make sure you read through everything and add the human. If you read through something that AI set up and you're like, yeah, I would never say it like that, there's your key that, yeah, that's not me. And the people who know you, the people who work with you, the ones who know you as a human, they're going to catch that. They're going to know that, yeah, that's not Regina. It doesn't sound like her at all. That's not how she talks. I go live a couple times a week and do all these other things, and people will spot really quick if I create something with AI and it doesn't sound like me, because they're so used to hearing me. Well, your clients, your people, they're used to you. So if you create something with AI and it doesn't sound like you, guess what? They're going to call you out on it. So use it for the editing, the brainstorming, and all that stuff that is really great for and really time saving for, but make sure you add you in. Okay. And then create the voice guide. So that's number 4, create that voice guide. And remember, it's not a one-time deal. Update your voice guide from time to time. Give it more stuff. Every time a client gives you a testimonial, have a testimonial bank. Create a document or something and have all of your testimonials in there and throw that in. Create case studies for your clients that are real case stories that you helped, whatever you help them transform, whether it's, their health, their business, or whatever it is that you do. Create a bank of all of those case studies and testimonials and feed that in, because that's your stuff. That's your human piece that you're adding in. So add that to your voice guide. And then last but not least, let AI handle that structure, but make sure you are the one adding the human connection. It's the human AI harmony that we're looking for. We want to make sure that you're showing up as you, even though you're using AI to help you do things better, do things faster, make things go faster in your business than you ever dreamed of. It's all doable with AI. Just don't lose you inside of the AI. That's what I've got for you this week. We'll see you next week on Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Bye for now.